Hi, this is Jill Ciminillo, and I am the managing editor with Pickup Truck Plus SUV Talk. If you have been on the website, you've probably seen some of the things that I've written, but more recently, Tim has let me hijack his channel to tell you about some vehicles that I have the chance to drive in Chicago. So this week it is the 2020 Land Rover Defender, and this is the 110 model, which means that it is a four-door vehicle. Now, the 90 will also be available, but only as a 2021 model. So stay tuned. Hopefully we'll have one of those coming soon. But right now, we're looking at the 110. So the base price for the four-door model is going to be $49,900. And I think that's pretty exceptional considering all of the stuff that is going to be included on this vehicle. So you're going to get a lot of standard safety technology, like lane keep assist and blind spot monitoring. But you're also going to get some really cool off-road stuff as well, like active dynamics and adaptive air suspension, in addition to a water fording sensor of all things. I think that's pretty cool. Another thing that's going to be standard is your 360-degree camera, which is great both in off-road situations and tight urban situations like you would find in a parking lot in Chicago. One of the great things about the Defender is the fact that it can be highly customized. And in fact, Land Rover has included 4 specific packs, they call it, that you can add to the Defender to customize it to what you want to do with it. So this vehicle, for example, has the Adventure Pack on it, which includes the hood decal as well as a side storage bin and some mud flaps and off-road tires. But there's also the Explorer Pack, which has a really cool seat that doubles as a backpack, or the Country Pack, or the Urban Pack. So depending on the look and the feel of what you want for the vehicle, you have a package for that. If you found this video, you've probably already seen a lot of stuff about the 2020 Land Rover Defender, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking about the details and specifications. Instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you on a tour of the Defender and show you some of the things that I liked and some of the things I didn't like. So let's take a closer look. One of my first favorite things has to be the design details. There are so many little details on the interior and exterior of the vehicle that just look really cool. I love the exposed bolts on the door. I love the Defender that is engraved on the dash. I love the extra USB port right here for your passenger. The screen is a 10-inch screen. This is standard with the vehicle, and it is a swipe screen, and it works a little bit difficultly, but pretty much the way you want it to. However, what I really like is this navigation on the side here. When you have your phone plugged in and you are connected to Apple Carplay, which is also standard, the icon shows up right here in the left navigation. So anything you need to get to is located in this location, and I definitely appreciate that. So this is not leather, it is some kind of synthetic material that is both rugged and will withstand wear. You know, the same goes for the seating materials in terms of ruggedness and wearability. This comes with the available weather floor mats so you don't track mud in after being off-road. The really cool thing, though, if you look to the back, is the portholes that you see for the windows over the cargo area. I think that is a nice design touch. I think it looks really cool, and I don't know. I was kind of geeking out over that a little bit. I like the design of the side windows, and again, you can see the design of the rear seats. Mimics those of the front. I think it just looks cool. Overall, I think the interior design is minimalist but rugged, and I think appropriate for a vehicle that is meant to go off-road. In terms of the exterior design, I really like the upright stance of the Defender, and I love that it just looks like it's ready to go on a safari. Because this has the Adventure Pack on it, there are a couple of additional details, including the roof rack and this external storage here. and you use an actual key to unlock it, which I've already done, and then it opens up. And you can see that it has some netting and a little ledge that you can store stuff in. I was a little bit skeptical of this at first, but as a marathon runner who often runs in rain and has stinky, smelly clothes, including running shoes and gear, it makes a lot of more sense now. I don't want to put that stuff in my car and smell my car up. I can just stick it in this external storage and take it out when I get home and stick it straight in the washer. So makes a lot of sense. Also, part of the adventure pack, you're going to have these med flaps here and the off-road tires, in addition to the spare tire on the back. The other thing that is a part of the adventure pack, and I really appreciate and really like, and I think it looks pretty cool, is this hood decal that shows the 110 graphic. So another thing that I really like about the Defender is all of the standard stuff that comes at the sub 50K price. So in addition to your standard safety technology, blind spot monitoring, lane keep assist, and that kind of thing, you also have this really great 10-inch screen. It's a touch screen. It's easily controlled through a swipe action, and it has a really nice left-hand navigation here that shows all of the icons if you don't want to swipe. Apple CarPlay is standard, and so also if you have it plugged in, the Apple CarPlay icon also pops up in this left-hand navigation, so it's really easy to select it and navigate between the Apple CarPlay functionality and the systems of the car. Something else that I really like that is also standard is this multi-function dial area here. So if you leave it alone, it just simply controls the temperature. You can go up and down for the driver, you can go up and down for the passenger. If you press it, you can control the heated seats for each side. If you'd like to control the fan speed, you press the fan button and then it points you to arrow to the passenger side dial, and you can change your fan speed. The other thing these dials control is the terrain system. So you press this button here and then you can scroll through your different systems. We're on comfort, but you have grass, gravel, and snow. You have mud and ruts. You have sand. You have rock crawl. You have wading, and then you can individually configure it. Now, one of the things that really surprised me that I liked about the Defender is the actual ride comfort. Yeah, you feel a little bit of the jostles and the bumps, but we've got it in comfort mode, and it's fairly smooth for a long highway jaunt. I just drove 4 hours in this car from Chicago to Detroit, and I felt pretty comfortable. The seats were comfortable and supportive, and when I got out at the end of the drive, I didn't feel super stiffed or uncomfortable. Along with the ride comfort, another thing that I really like is the acceleration. So whether you are on the highway and you just need to boost it up to pass, or if you are at a stop sign and you need a quick off-the-line start, the Defender has you covered with this P400 engine, the 3.0 liter V6. I really like how fast, how peppy, how maneuverable it is in traffic and in urban situations. So the acceleration gets another check in the plus column. Now it's time to talk about the things that I don't like on the Land Rover Defender. And unfortunately, it has my #1 automotive pet peeve right now. And that is the fact that it has wireless charging, which is kind of a yay. But the boo part is the fact that you still have to wire in to use your Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. So I'm of the philosophy that you have wireless charging, you need wireless CarPlay. If you are going to have to wire in to use your Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, do not include a wireless charging pad. It makes cord management just a little bit difficult, and it's annoying because once you plug in, where do you put your phone? Do you put it back on the charging pad, which is where your phone is supposed to go? Do you sit it down in this cubby hole here? Do you put it over onto the dash? Do you stick it back into the center console? I don't know. It's a little bit confusing and annoying, and I want the cord or I don't want the cord. So for me, it's an all or nothing proposition, and this is not a great solution. So another thing that I don't like is the fact that the volume knob is all the way over here, right by my passenger. I just took a 4-hour road trip with my husband, and I have to tell you, we fought over this all the time. I could turn it up, certainly, on my steering wheel, but then he would immediately turn it back down or, you know, mess with my controls. So if you have a passenger that does not like the same music or the same volume that you do, having your volume control right next to the passenger poses a little bit of a problem. So this version of the Defender has a manual third row seat. I haven't decided if I like it or if I don't like it yet because I haven't tried to put it into place. So I figured I'd take you with me on the journey to see how easy it is to operate, and then we'll make a decision about whether we like it or not. I do like that this opens out and it's nice and wide. So let's see, we've got some stuff back here to take out. We've got a lot of stuff back here to take out. Let's see, what's this? This is the adjustable don't mind me. Let's see. The adjustable cover for your cargo. All right. See cup holders back here. All right. So once you take all this extra stuff out, it looks like there are some latches back here that you simply pull the seat up. That's easy enough. It does severely limit your cargo area once you put this into play. I mean, it's not a lot of space, and my hips are wider than the available area here. Let's see, what does this look like back here? Whew, that's gonna be tight. All right, so there is not a lot of leg room, and I'm assuming you'll get in there from the second row. There's cup holders. Ooh, these seats feel hard, but let's see. You've got headrests that come up. It looks like you have vent controls back here as well, so you can control your HVAC, at least the air level. But other than that, it looks pretty functional and utilitarian. Let's take a look and see how comfortable it is to actually sit back here. So now we're going to try and actually get into that third row. Okay, so that slides back fairly easily. And I did give myself a couple of extra inches back here in terms of my leg room, because as you'll note, I did not slide this all the way back. So there is a decent amount of foot room and knee room in this third row, but I will say these seats are not comfortable. Getting out is just as easy with a flip of the switch. And let's see, how do we move them back? There's a little, I guess it's that as far back as it goes. So these seats aren't as easy to maneuver. They're a little bit heavy, but I mean, access to the third row isn't awful, but less than ideal. So I would say that that third row, the manual third row, is an occasional seat. It completely diminishes storage, and the third row seats are not that comfortable. I'm gonna give that a just solid maybe. I don't dislike it, but I don't love it. While I would consider the access to the third row a bit of a wash, it's neither a like or a dislike because it's going to be an occasional thing. While I'm back here, I want to point out one other thing, and that is access to the roof rack. Now, this is an option. It's a part of the adventure package, but access to that is not going to be easy. So I'm about 5 feet tall, and there is no easy way to climb up here. So for me, I mean, I'm going to be trying to climb in here. There really isn't any handholds to grab onto, and then, you know, to step up to be able to access it, it's going to be a little bit difficult. The other thing to note is that this roof rack only holds about 291 pounds. That's like 3 of me. So I don't know what you're going to take with you when you go off-road, but it might be a little bit more, especially if you're not going to be able to fit it in this area if you have your 3rd row up. So while I think this roof rack looks pretty cool, to me it's a bit of a dislike because it doesn't seem terribly usable or functional. Now, another thing in the don't like column, however, is the actual noise that comes into the cabin. In addition to engine noise and wind noise, you have a whole bunch of systems in this vehicle that make sound as they adjust. I'm assuming it's the adaptive dynamics, but it could also be something else. But as I'm driving, speeding up, slowing down, I hear... So lots of sounds going on here, including the wind noise and, you know, ambient noise that comes in from the outside. And finally, one of my other pet peeves in the automotive world centers around auto stop start. And I don't really like the auto stop start in the Land Rover Defender. I like the fuel savings that it's supposed to give you, and I do put that in air quotes, but here's the problem. The light just turned green, and there was a lag between when I took my foot off the brake and stomped my foot on the gas, and the car took a couple of seconds to recognize, oh, I'm actually supposed to be moving now. So if you were in a situation where you needed to get into a traffic window pretty quickly, the auto stop start is not going to work for you. You have to turn it off. And so I will give a plus point to Jaguar Land Rover for making that a feature, that there is a button right here on the center stack that you can turn it off. And frankly, that's what I would do, especially driving in an urban environment. It's just too slow to react when you need to drive a little more aggressively. All right, thank you for crawling around the 2020 Land Rover Defender with me. I hope you got a really good look at some of the cool things on this vehicle, as well as some of those things that might be a little bit annoying. However, at the end of the day, I think that the cool stuff far outweighs the annoying stuff. And if I were looking for a vehicle to take off-road and was wanting to spend around $50,000, this would absolutely be someplace that I would start my search. I'd love to know what you think of this all-new Defender, so please comment below and don't forget to subscribe. To steal a line from Tim, I'll see you down the road.